Hello. I'm going to begin with a little story that goes way back to 3rd grade. I had these two friends who I had known most of my life, but then one day they decided that they didn't really want to be friends anymore. The idea of this occurring had never crossed my mind. I had to look for new friends to play with. I had been so wrapped up in these friendships, I hadn't really noticed the other people around me. As I gradually started to talk to more people, I began to realize something. Friends change when they're with different groups. If I was with one friend, she was totally normal and funny, but then as other people started to join the conversation, she changed. More and more this started to occur, and now that I'm in middle school, it happens almost every day. So this got me to thinking, who are we, and what does this mean? Does this really have an answer? Ever since Sigmund Freud came up with this theory about the conscious and the unconscious mind, people have been pondering this concept. He found that some people do things with planning and thoughtfulness, while others are done unconsciously without thought. This is because they are ingrained in routine. Yet another part of our personality is based on genetics. This means that your parents have passed down traits to you, whether it's the color of your hair or the constant migraines you seem to get every day. Thanks, Dad. On my quest to discover more about this topic, I Skyped Professor Singer, who teaches personality psychology at Connecticut College. He told me that 60% of our personality is made up of genetics. So what is the other part? Well, this 40% is the part we have control over, that can be influenced. I like to think of the controllable part as a soundboard. So let's all think of it as a soundboard, because that would make this talk a lot easier. Here's the kind of soundboard I have in mind, just so we're all on the same page. Our personality can be split up into 5 parts, or analogically, 5 knobs. The first one is labeled openness. You turn it up and it makes you really honest and open to sharing your thoughts and feelings. If you turn this down, you're not secretive like someone from the FBI, but you're just definitely not open up to sharing personal things. I would be on the upper or higher end of this knob because I'm a pretty open person. Anyone who's talked to me probably knows this too. Now for the second knob, conscientiousness. I had no idea what this meant when I was first introduced to this. Conscience? Consciousness? No. This knob is how willing you are to thoroughly complete tasks and if you like to plan things and have self-goals. If you turn this knob up, you have a kid who literally likes to plan everything to the second. If you turn this down, you have someone who's disorganized and doesn't really have goals and just needs a little help setting goals for their life. But people can also change these knobs throughout their life and around different people. I don't mean that when you're 5, you're super open, and when you're 50, you're closed-minded, which does happen, but I won't get into that. It's more like being two-faced. For the purpose of this talk, 3-faced or 4-faced. Not two-faced as in be nice to your friend, then talk bad about her behind her back, but more as in how you act will alter around different people. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is okay. Well, the talking about your friend part isn't. Just a piece of advice, if you want to keep your friends, I recommend not to do that. So to go back to my original thought, modifying your personality is okay if you keep the same traits. I can and will confidently state I'm a generally outgoing person. For those who don't know me, I am friendly, creative, and in the most humble way, I'll say I'm intelligent. As I talk to different people throughout my day, I keep these consistent traits. I will not suddenly become unfriendly or quiet if I'm talking to an adult or my teacher. If I did completely change, it could have some results I definitely don't want, such as always lying or hiding my true self, or developing 2 completely different personalities, which would probably get me in trouble with my friends and my parents. I never finished telling you about the 3rd, 4th, and 5th knobs. Did you notice? Well, the 3rd knob is extroversion. I am a huge extrovert, no question about it. I am very talkative and social, and sometimes I talk too much, but that's okay. The 4th knob is agreeableness. which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just how agreeable you are, if you couldn't guess. The last knob out of the core 5 is neuroticism, or how prone you are to negative emotion such as stress and depression. All these knobs I've explained for you are a part of being positively two-faced. I'm just going to list all the people I interact with in a normal day. My parents, siblings, friends, friends' parents, teachers, peers, and strangers. It would seem logical to say this is the same for most middle school students. I know that around my friend, almost every knob is dialed up, except for neuroticism, because my friends don't make me sad. But around my friend's parents, I dial the knobs down a bit to seem more calm and less crazy. Around my teachers, I do the same thing as my friend's parents. This actually provides a benefit for me. I'm able to talk to a variety of people and learn things from them. In school, I talk to a lot of different cliques that vary in people and interests. Most people just stick to their group or their clique because they know how to act around them. Know yourself, know your audience. I am able to talk to a plethora of people because I have mastered this technique. I am easily able to modify my personality to a particular person after talking to them for a while. And this is not hiding who I am or being fake. I'm still friendly, I'm still creative, and I'm still outgoing. I'm just able to learn things from these people. From what I've been told, later in life when I start to work, I will have to deal with many people. Some of these people will be easy to work with and compatible to my default personality. But others will probably take a lot of effort to deal with. In theory, the more successful you are, the more people you meet. So I think it's safe to say that successful workers deal with a multitude of people. I assume that since no two people are alike, these workers have in one way or another learned to be multi-faced. And since there are a lot of enterprisers in the world, that would make using this technique common. As I was searching for a word to define this technique, I stumbled across code switching. Before I do any explaining, watch this video.
Because you're my wife, and you love the theater, and it's your birthday. Great. Unfortunately, the orchestra is already filled up, but they do have seats that are still left in the dress circle. So if you want to really get them teenage tickets right now, we'll do it right now. They're all about 5 minutes away. Yeah. Okay, yeah, cool. But they all good singers. They all good singers. They're fun. Nah, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm about to talk. Nah, they got that one dude in it that you love, man. He gonna be in it, yeah. Come on, man, you know I'm almost there, all right? Cool. All right. Yeah. The party is free. So you got that on my God, but hold on, we got something under right now.
After watching this video, does anyone have an idea of what code switching is? Although this term is commonly used when talking about language, Ali will explain that to you a little later tonight. Code switching can just simply be altering how you act or present yourself in front of other people. The first man was nice and sweet to his wife on the phone when no one was around. But then, as soon as the second man came, the first man acted in a way that would intimidate the second man, just in case he was dangerous. Turns out, both these men chose to act in a way that would intimidate the others when they had no reason to. But this was just for comedy's sake. This is exactly what I'm trying to express to you here today, though. The first man acted threateningly, only to give himself an advantage. People do this all the time in day-to-day life. People revise how they choose to have others view their personalities in order to achieve the highest respect in others' minds. So this brings me to yet another question. Why aren't we taught how to do this? If being successful is the ultimate goal, then why aren't we taught how to use this skill at a young age? If we were, who knows where we would be? Maybe I would be standing amongst one of the most advanced generations in history. We're taught an abundance of subjects in school, but none of them are focusing on how to thrive when interacting with different people, whether it's in meetings or stumbling across others on the sidewalk. Well, who knows what the future brings? Maybe next time you say a teacher or a boss or a peer hates you, try being a little two-faced and see where it takes you. Thank you.